Kicks the door, and the neighbors think I'm killing her.
He spanks them, and I don't agree with spanking.
I think
Honest Hour of Talk. Camilla Scott on BBS.
Today on Camilla Scott.
She doesn't know any better, maybe. I don't know, I think she just likes wasting my time.
I just want her opinion, that's all. Doesn't mean I have to take it.
Sometimes she's just totally wrong.
What do you do with people who are constantly asking for your advice but then never take it? That is the question my guests today are here to ask. They say their friends are always asking for their opinion, but when they give it, it goes in one ear and out the other. Sometimes they even do the exact opposite. My guests say that they are fed up with wasting their time and energy on their bullheaded buddies, and they are here to say, don't ask for my advice if you're not going to take it. Show. My guests today say they are fed up with their friends asking for their advice and then never following it. First, meet Sean and Andrew. They say their roommate Amy is constantly asking their advice on everything from what guy she should date to what clothes she should wear and even what food she should eat. They say that if she took their advice even once, she'd be much better off. Hi, guys.
Hi there.
Hi. Sean, how often does Amy ask your advice?
Well, I can't really say, 5, 10, 20 times a day.
Andrew? How often does she take it?
Not yet. She hasn't.
She never, ever listens to your advice?
Very rarely, no.
Rarely.
She asks us for everything, but never takes the advice.
Give us some examples. What does she ask your advice on, Sean?
Well, every day it's the same thing. If we're going out to a club, what should I wear? Should I wear these black jeans or these black pants? And I'm like, well, the black pants look good. Oh, I don't know. I don't like them. They're off, and the black jeans are on. And then all of a sudden she's out in a skirt. I'm like, why did you ask for my advice? Like, you're wearing a skirt now. Why did you ask me if you're going to wear pants? I don't understand. She asked me she's allergic to a lot of foods. I shouldn't eat that, should I? No, you should, because you're going to pay for it tomorrow, and it's in her mouth. You know what I'm saying?
So how frustrating is it, though, that she's asking you all the time, but then never takes it? Andrew?
It gets really frustrating. She asks you, she went through a breakup earlier in the year, and she comes to us, oh, I'm so upset, I'm so sad, this is this, and that is that, and should I call him? And you say, no, don't call him, you'll just make you more upset. And the next thing you know, she's scrambled off to some phone in the corner, oh, I miss you, I'm so upset. And then she comes to us whining and crying, and we're like,
we told you.
Yeah, that's right.
So why do you think she asks for your advice if she's not going to take it?
Well,
why does she ask you?
Sincerely, I do think, like, a lot of the time she asks for advice, I do give it sincerely, and I really want to help her, and she takes it, but she asks for advice so often, I think it's, well, insecurity, she wants advice, she wants to make sure she does the right thing, but then she does maybe the wrong thing anyway.
I think she's got the idea in her head of the answer she wants to hear, and she just wants reaffirmation of that answer. Tell me what I want to hear so that what I do you think is right.
And if she doesn't hear what you guys, if you don't tell her what she wants to hear, then
she does what she wants to do.
Well, she'll hear what we say, like, oh, you're totally right. She's off doing the other thing.
Let's get her out here. Come on out here, Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Amy, why do you ask Sean and Andrew for advice?
Well, I see so much of them. I spend so much of my day with them. They know me better than just about anyone else. And it means a lot to me what they have to say.
Then why the heck aren't you listening?
I think a lot of the time when I'm talking to them, asking them for advice, I'm just going through something that's going on in my life, like I'm talking it through myself. And I don't hear what they say half the time, I don't think. And that's why and afterwards I realize what they've said, and they're usually right, and they come back and say, Amy, I told you so.
So what would be something that would be really important to you that you would ask their advice on?
Well, not clothes and food, things like that, but more with guys. I find their opinion means a lot.
And then do you listen to it?
No. And then I'll come back. I can ask them the same question 5 times in a day, and I'm thinking about
but if
it.
you know, if first of all you're asking them because you respect their opinion and you know they care about you, and then you know the end result's going to be that they were right anyway. So why aren't you following their advice?
Maybe I'm hoping once I'll be right. Maybe that I'll do something right.
What do you guys think? What would you like to see Amy do?
Well, I think she could find the right answer on her own if she would just, like, Amy's a very quick person. She thinks very fast, I find. And talking about it in the third person here. But I think she just sat down and went, okay, what would Sean say? Then, you know,
And
really.
a lot of the time, her instincts are right. Like, she has the right instinct when you talk to us. Like, I shouldn't do this, should I? And we'll say, no, you're right, you shouldn't. That's it. And then she does it. So follow the initial thought, like, go with your gut reaction.
Yeah, what is with eating food that's allergic to you?
Well, it's hard. I mean, it's not like...
Well, in her defense, she's allergic to just about everything. Like, she can't eat cheese, milk, chocolate, you know.
And they eat
pasta. And I know, that's
what
enough
would be the
right
point
there.
of living?
bread. Well, so, you know, you cheat once in a while, every day, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
What I think is that to those 2 guys over there, just because she's asking you for advice, it doesn't mean that she has to take it. Like, maybe she just wants to figure out what is right, and like maybe what her decision she thinks is right. Like, she doesn't have to always take your advice.
But
she can ask,
But she
right?
asked for, like, a lot, so she should take it a lot.
Like,
if
the
she asked for
percentage,
it.
the ratio of the
But
times.
maybe what you think that she should do, maybe it's not right for her, right?
Oh, no, we understand.
It is.
I mean, that's what...
Well, and I guess the fact that a lot of times you turn out to be right is what makes...
Well, that's what we're saying, is the ratio of times that we give the advice to the ratio that she takes it is very slim, you know, there's...
So Amy, why do you keep asking for their advice if you're not going to take it?
Well, I just need to, I tell them everything. Like, I talk to them about everything, and somewhere in there I'm asking them, like, this is with guys more so, and I think I'm insecure, and I say, what should I wear? Should I eat this? What should I do? And I think I do know deep down that I shouldn't do it, but I don't know, maybe I'm hoping that they'll say, yeah, Amy, go for it. Treat yourself. Be happy, you know, and doesn't happen.
I find sometimes when people ask advice, if they keep constantly asking it and they're not taking the advice, it could be just a way of seeking attention. If you guys are so close to her and y'all live together and everything, maybe that's just her way of wanting to involve you in her life a little more.
What do you think, guys?
That's possible.
I think...
I think it's possible, totally, because
I think
me and Andrew are, you know, we envelop the whole apartment, like,
They're very
so.
close, and
But it is possible, but on the other hand, we live together, we go to school together, we work together. Like, there's the times that we're not together is when we're sleeping, you know, so it's...
So you
even then,
figure you're involved enough.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you even bother giving her advice if, like, you know she's not going to take it?
Well, that's why we're
because
here.
she'll keep on saying it. Like, I'll be sitting on the couch and she'll be, Sean, should I do this? And if I'm just pretending to be tuned out to the TV, yeah.
So Andrew, by bringing her here today, what would you like to accomplish? What would you like to say to her?
I don't know, I just want you to... I don't want to say anything. I just want you to know that, like, we have valuable opinions, and no, you don't always have to take them. We're not always saying that our advice is right, but if you're going to ask us, then, like, let us know that they're under consideration, you know? So.
Sounds good to me,
I
Amy.
need to listen more. I think I go off on my own. I'm in my own little world, and
maybe you should think a little more before you ask as well. So ask the stuff that's important to you, where you really do need and want their opinion, and then weigh it.
Then I think if I didn't ask so much, and with the petty things about food and clothes, then they'd put more into it, and maybe I'd hear them and discuss it with them.
Sounds excellent. When we return, we'll meet Debbie and Rob. They say their friend Denise is so pig-headed that if she doesn't like their advice, she'll do exactly the opposite. Don't go away. Do you know... who are fed up with giving advice to friends who never listen. Meet my next guests, Debbie and Rob. They say they're tired of their friend Denise asking for their advice and then doing the exact opposite. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Rob, give us some examples of the advice that Denise asks of you.
Like, I don't know, she stole someone's bank card. It ended up, she was taking money from it, and she asked me, like, should I do this and this and this? It's like, you should just take it back. Like, if you want the money to buy a shirt or whatever, just ask for it. The person will probably give it to you. Another example.
Debbie, do you have any examples? What does she ask advice about?
She's asked advice about going back to school, if she should go back or not. She's asked advice about her ex-boyfriend.
Does she usually listen to your advice when you give it to her?
No, she doesn't listen at all.
Rob, she ever listen to your advice?
No, she does this little thing with her eyes in her head. She starts rolling it around.
And this is after she has asked you for the advice. So how do you guys react when she asks you all the time for this advice, but she never takes it?
Frustrated.
I just blow her off, go sit somewhere else, ignore her.
Why don't you think she takes it? What do you think it is?
I think she's just stubborn and pig-headed.
And what?
Jamie's good at that.
And what, Rob?
Said the same thing.
Same thing? Let's get her out here and ask her about it. Come on out here, Denise. Hi, Denise.
Pig-headed. Hi.
Denise, do you agree with your friends? Are you pig-headed?
No.
Well, then how come you are asking for their advice and not taking it?
I'm asking more of their opinion than what they think, if it's, you know, right or wrong and stuff. But it's more like I'm just asking them what they think on it. Whether I follow it is...
But why would you ask us our opinion if you're not going to take it?
I'm asking you your thoughts on different things.
Why do you ask them their thoughts?
To see what their reaction is, you know, what their thoughts are, and then take it from there.
Isn't that kind of, though, the same thing? Aren't you sort of you're trying to see what they think so that... And that's sort of like asking for advice, right?
Yeah.
So how come you never take it?
Oh,
Do they usually give you good advice?
Yeah, they give me good advice.
Are they usually right?
Yeah, they're usually right in the end, yeah.
So what's stopping you from, because you're asking them, and they're giving you the good advice, and it's usually the right thing, and you know that, what's stopping you from taking it?
Myself, I don't know.
So do you think maybe they're right? Maybe are you a little pig-headed?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
So what could she do, you guys? What would help this situation?
What would help? Fix the situation?
Yeah. Do you like the fact that she asks you for your advice, Debbie?
I like the fact that she asks me for advice because I do care for her as a friend, but it gets annoying when she doesn't take my advice, where she should just be, I guess, a little more open.
So you'd still like her to ask you?
Oh, yeah.
Because you think, as a friend, you probably have lots of great things to offer.
Oh, yeah.
So what we have to do is find a way for you, Denise, to maybe follow a little bit of this advice. Do you think that would probably be a good idea?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Sorry. Do you ever get advice which steers you in the wrong direction from your friends?
No.
No, that's an even better reason to take their advice. Yes, ma'am.
It sounds to me for both parties that both of your friends really care about both of you, and that if they're giving you the right advice, to just think about it really closely before you make your final decision and try to base it on how you would feel if you were giving another person the same advice.
That's a good point. And Denise, do you think that when Debbie and Rob give you advice, do you really think it through, or do you act?
I act.
On an impulse.
Act on impulse.
So maybe that's just part of it, is just... Rob, tell us a story about Denise borrowing the car.
She ended up, we were at her place, me and a bunch of friends. It was about 11:30 in the morning. She borrowed the car, supposed to have it back at 8. She dropped me off at my place at 9, me and a couple friends. I was like 3 days later, she decided to take the car home with no brakes in it. After asking me, before she dropped me off, she asked me, she goes, "Do you think I'll get in trouble if I take the car home now, since I'm an hour late and all this?" I go, "Well, if you take it home now, you won't get in as much trouble as you would later." And it just ended up 3 days later, she made it home.
In more trouble. Debbie, why are you concerned about Denise?
Because, like I said, I care for her as a friend. I see a lot of myself in her, and I don't want her to follow down the same footsteps, like the same road that I've followed down.
What was it about school? You said you worry about her education and...
Well, I'm a single mom, and I have 2 small children, and I did not get an education. And I know by her dropping out and not going back. She's going to end up the same place I am 5 years down the road, and she's not going to have much of a future.
So what would your advice be to her on that?
Go to school.
That's great advice, Denise. Yes, sir.
To both parties again. Is it maybe attention you're looking for rather than advice?
Denise, do you think maybe?
No, it's advice.
Yes, sir.
To the lady in the stripes there, you said that it really frustrates you when she doesn't take your advice. As a person giving advice, it's not your spot. Like, it's actually her spot to take your advice. She doesn't take it, she doesn't take it. You know, as a friend, you give her the advice. If she wants it, good. If she doesn't, good. Just support her on what she's going to do and let her go on.
I agree. You know, it's her choice to take my advice, but you know, when she takes the advice and it screws up, that she doesn't take my advice, she comes back to me and sort of asks me why, like whines about it.
And it must be frustrating as a friend, too, to see your friend going in the wrong direction, knowing that they could have done a better thing if they'd have taken your advice.
Yeah, and then she just comes back and complains about what she did wrong.
She's going to listen better now, aren't you, Denise?
Yeah.
Good girl. When we return, we'll meet Kathy. She says her friend Nicole is always asking for advice but never taking it. And when things go wrong, she has the nerve to turn around and blame Kathy. Don't go away. Did you say or do something while you were wasted that you now regret? Did you hurt or embarrass a close friend or family member? Want to apologize and patch things up? If you want to say, I didn't mean it, I was wasted, give us a call at 1-800-508-CAMILLA. Hi, welcome back. Today we are talking to people who say their friends are always asking for advice but never take it. Meet my next guest, Kathy. She says her friend Nicole is always asking her advice but never listens. Then when things go wrong, she turns around and blames Kathy. Hi, Kathy. How come she blames you if she's not even taking your advice?
Because she can't handle the truth from me. I tell her, you make the wrong decisions, and then when you make the wrong decisions, don't come back to me when I've given you the right advice, because I know what's best for her. I mean, I know what's best for her. I'm older. I know. I know. Thank you. Anybody else?
So, what is she asking your advice about?
Oh my God, everything. I'm like, I swear, my number is on her speed dial. Every day, every night, 3 a.m. What do I do? I don't know what to do. One time, okay, get this. We didn't go to the same school, right? So we got in a fight with this girl. I said, don't go to the school. We're not allowed in there. Like, she's not allowed in there. Don't go in. You'll get in trouble. What? No, she has to go. We're going to school. She picks a fight. Of course, I'm not going to stand there and let her get beat up. So I step in, and then I got kicked out of school for it. And if she would have listened to me, because I know everything, I wouldn't have got kicked out of school. I wouldn't.
Now,
sit down. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Kathy?
Those are my friends.
Hang on. Why do you think, though, she doesn't take your advice?
Because she's stubborn. She doesn't. She knows that I'm older.
But why did she ask for it in the first place, then?
I don't know. Because she doesn't know any better, maybe. I don't know. I think she just likes wasting my time. I think that's what it comes down to.
Is that what it feels like?
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Well, let's get her out here and talk to her about it. Come on out here, Nicole.
Said that. You were so dead.
Nicole, why are you always asking Kathy for advice?
Well, because you're my friend, and I want to know what you think, but just because I asked for it doesn't mean I have to listen to you. You're not my mom.
Stop. You're wrong. You know you're wrong. No, she doesn't even listen to her mom, so why would I think you're your mom? You don't even listen to your mom.
Exactly. So if I don't listen to my mom, what makes you think I'm going to listen to you?
Then why do you ask me for advice? Do you ask your mom for advice? No.
But Nicole...
Smart. Why don't you stop asking for advice?
Why don't you just stick with your little story over there and let me deal with her?
Nicole, wait a minute. Wait, hey, everyone hang on 1 second. Do you value your friend Kelly's opinion?
Kathy.
I'm sorry, Kathy. Do you value Kathy's opinion?
Well, sometimes, yeah, but sometimes she's just totally wrong. I mean, Usually it's got like a personal gain in it for her.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, do you want to go there?
Do
you want to go there?
Don't even go there.
Do you want to go there?
Oh, whatever.
But Kathy tells us, Nicole, that you never take her advice.
Never.
And she's usually right.
Oh, no,
Is
one
that
time,
true?
One time.
No,
One time.
that is wrong.
One time. One
I
time,
take her advice a lot more than she thinks. I just don't tell her because she gets this big ego thing happening in her head. Like she's perfect, and you're not perfect.
Well, yeah.
You're more screwed up than I am.
Jealous.
Why don't you take her advice, though, Nicole?
Well, because, I mean, usually it's got a personal gain in it for her. Do you want me to tell them?
Give us an example, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, this one time, she told me, I'm sorry, Kathy, I had to do this. This one time, she told me to be patient with this guy, be patient, oh, trust him, to find out she was, you know, with him the entire time.
Whatever. Choose, come on.
Now, what? Well, wait a minute. Who would you choose, Kathy? Come on, now. Are you giving her the wrong advice?
All her guys like
No.
her guys.
But we're not talking about her guys. We're talking about you giving her advice for your own gain. Is that true?
No, never my gain. No, never my gain.
Oh.
That one incident you're talking about, the one incident she's talking about. The guy was a nice guy, and she treated him like. You treated him bad. You weren't nice.
So why were you telling her to be patient with him?
Exactly.
That was after. That was before. When you said, oh, he's not working out. I said, well, just give it time. You're not being nice to the guy. Why would he be nice to you? You're treating him like.
Well, if he's playing all the time, why should I be nice to him?
Whatever.
Yes,
Are you in my room? Are you in my room? Not
Yes,
in my
ma'am.
room.
It sounds to me like these three young ladies seem to ask advice after they've done the wrong. And like they're looking for someone to pull them out, their self-esteem out of their mistakes that they've made and say, it's okay, I'm going to stand by you. And in order for you to grow and to stop doing that, you have to look at yourself before you do it, not after.
Would you guys agree with that?
Sorry, was that a question?
Well, she thinks you're asking the advice a little too late and then just really looking for affirmation for what you've done.
No, that's not. I mean,
would you guys agree with that with Amy?
I don't know, not so much in Amy's case. I mean, Amy's not like, she's not a hard case and her life's not falling down the tubes or anything, and it's a lot of mild stuff that Amy's dealing with, but...
It's very petty, and I think it's
not all petty, though. Like when your ex-boyfriend, that was pretty serious.
Yeah.
But I'd ask him the same thing over and over and over, and I don't know what I was looking for. Maybe I just needed someone to talk to.
You guys should have unplugged all the phones and kept her in the same room with you. Yes, sir.
You know, Kathy there, she's standing there like Queen Sheba. She thinks she knows all the...
Call me God.
She seems to know everything. Obviously, maybe her friend should be giving her advice. My 12-year-old, she says... You're saying because you're older, you get better advice? I got a 12-year-old, she gives me advice sometimes.
Does she?
That's a good point. Yes, ma'am.
What I don't understand is instead of asking your friend for advice, why can't you just do it on yourself?
Are you talking
to
me? I do. Like when I ask her for advice, I've already made up what I'm going to do in my mind. I just want to know what her opinion is. Because I want to know if you're going to like freak and spaz.
It's nice to have a close friend agree with you. Like even if you've already made your decision, it's nice to have someone close to you. Make you feel
I guess if that's exactly what it is, though, you have to make sure that that's what is out there. You can't always be asking for the opinion of someone else and for advice of someone else and not take it.
But I do
if
take
you're
it.
just saying, listen, you know, this is what I think. I'm just trying to find out what you maybe think about this.
Yeah, but then she blames me, though. When she makes the wrong decision, you come back and you blame me. You go, why do I always pick such losers?
Why do you nag me about it? If I don't,
Because you come and you
did she tell you
blame
any
me.
of this at all? If I don't take her advice, she nags. She freaks.
Whatever,
How can you call me? Why don't you take my advice? You should have done this. You should have done this. If you hadn't done this, you wouldn't have screwed up.
When you make the wrong decision, of course I'm going to say if you would have listened to me.
Okay, you guys, you know what? I have to go to commercial. We're going to get back. When we return, we'll meet Shelley. She says she's tired of dealing with Kelly's problems, especially since Kelly doesn't follow the advice she asked for in the first place. Don't go away. Was your child a victim of sexual abuse? Were they abused by a trusted adult like a sports coach, teacher, or babysitter? Do you want to help other parents learn how to prevent this from happening to their kids? Please call us at 1-800-508-CAMILLA and tell us your story. back. Today we're talking to people who say they're tired of their friends asking them for advice and never taking it. Meet my next guest, Shelley. She says her friend Kelly is always asking for advice, and today Shelley's here to tell her it's time to start listening. Hi, Shelley.
Hi.
What kind of advice does Kelly ask you for?
Just about money and stuff and clothes, and she's got really low self-esteem, and I don't know why. She doesn't have a reason to. I think she's really pretty.
What does she ask you about money?
Well, I make less money than she does, and I have a child that I support, and she makes like more money than I do, and she just doesn't have anything to show for it. Like, I just can't believe how she spends her money. She's got nothing to show for it.
Do you give her advice when she asks you to try
Yeah,
and
and I'm real sick of it.
So she does not take your advice?
No, never.
How does it make you feel when she's always asking you and then never takes it?
Hurt. Because she's my best friend, and I love her, and I just... Yeah.
Let's get her out here and
Okay.
talk to her about it. Come on out here, Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Hello.
Kelly, how come you ask Shelley for advice if you're not going to take it?
Well, I just want her opinion, that's all. Doesn't mean I have to take it.
But why do you ask her for it? Do you value what she has to say about things?
Oh yeah, I trust her opinion, but sometimes I don't take it.
Is she usually right in the long run?
Not necessarily.
What do you think, Shelley?
Kelly. I don't know. I think I'm right sometimes.
Well, yeah.
Give us an example of a time that she gave you advice that you didn't take and she was right.
I guess for New Year's and stuff like that, I asked her opinion what I should wear. And she said to wear black because it's slimming and that, and I didn't.
Should you have?
Well, yeah.
Did you regret not taking her advice that time?
Yeah, I did.
What about money? She says you make more money than her and you are broke all the time.
And I have a kid. Like, I have a daughter.
So do you ask Shelley's advice about money management?
Yeah.
Does she give it to you?
Yeah, she gives it to me in that, but when I get my money in that, it's just like, wow, I got money, so I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, who said that? Go ahead.
I understand. Do you have a daughter, Kelly?
No.
See, so she can, because you have a daughter, you have to be more responsible. I know because I have a son, but if she doesn't have anyone she has to look after, then why can't she do what she wants with her money? If it's her money, she earns it, why can't she blow it when she wants to?
Why is that a problem, Shelley? What happens when she spends all her money?
She's late for payments on her rent. She has no food in her house. Like, sorry, Kelly, but it's true, you know? Like,
my fault.
I'm living off of $950 a month, and my rent's $700. Okay?
And you're supporting your child.
Yeah, and I do good. Like, I can budget really well on that
So, well, you should be. Yeah, no, you should be. Would you be better off, Kelly, if you maybe listened to a little bit of her advice?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I think so.
I have a question for the third party. If you're supposed to be friends, if you're supposed to be friends, then why are you judging her for her actions or what you're telling her?
I'm not
Because
judging
a
her.
friend should not be doing that. A friend should give the moral support and the advice needed and let her decide.
I don't judge her. I don't judge her.
I'm sorry, but I don't think that someone should just sit there all the time, like, and just go,
Yeah,
you should
exactly.
do this and just sit back. Like,
We
if they're gonna ask me
care.
advice,
We
like,
care.
take it once in a while.
And
Just don't,
she's not
like,
the one hanging out in schoolyards beating up girls. I'm sorry.
Were you there? No. You don't know. She started half of the school in a fight on that time. She got charged just like I did. It's not on my fault. Listen to both sides before you
I'm not saying it's your
judge me.
fault. All I'm saying is, like, you're 18 years old.
Yeah?
You shouldn't be into beating people up at
Did
school.
she tell you that? It was like
just-
3 years ago. It was like 3 years ago.
Yes, ma'am.
3 years ago, you were
A
15?
question to the second couple,
15 or
the girl in the
16,
green.
I mean.
Were there ever charges brought up against you for stealing your friend's bank card and stuff?
No.
How can you do that to your friends?
Actually, it was my sister.
That still doesn't make it all right, Kathy. Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you stop asking such petty advice and just save your questions for when you have something serious?
I agree. Well, because
Is she looking just at me?
what may be important to you might not be important to someone else. It might. Yeah. Her questions are sometimes important to me. No, all the time.
How frustrating is
No,
it to you, though, Kathy, that Nicole, first of all, never takes your advice and then blames you for... I mean, because if I were you, and if it was as bad as you say it is, I'd probably just say next time, you know what? I think I'm just going to reserve my opinion for myself.
And she doesn't do that. She doesn't do that.
Well, because she's my friend and I care. And if you call
But
up
if you
and
didn't want to tell me something, then
no, because
don't.
sometimes she has serious problems. When am I not there for you? When you
Yeah,
have
but I'm
problems,
there for you too. Did
Yeah?
you play about
This is for the one with the green pants on. You know what I call people like you? Garbage. And you, your friend, you should take out the garbage, leave it on the curb because friends don't sleep with other friends' boyfriends.
When we return, we'll meet Bobby. She says when her pal Joan asks for her advice, she feels like it's going in one ear and out the other. Don't go away. For free tickets to my show, write Camilla Scott Tickets, Box 9, Station O, Toronto, M4A 2M9, or call 416-299-2250. Or you can reach us on the internet at camilla@bayton.com. Hi, welcome back. Today we're talking to people who say they're tired of their friends asking them for advice and never taking it. Meet my next guest, Bobby. She says that although her friend Joan is constantly asking for her advice, when she gives it, she feels like she's talking to a brick wall. Bobby, why do you feel like you're talking to a brick wall?
Joan just doesn't listen. The advice I give her, she does the exact opposite.
What does she ask your advice on?
Clothes, school, guys, a lot of things.
So what would she ask you about school?
What she should take, what she should do.
And when you give your advice to her, she doesn't listen?
No, she doesn't.
Why do you think she asks your opinion if she doesn't really want it?
I couldn't tell you.
Well, let's get her out here and ask her that question. Joan, come out here. Hi, Joan. Joan, do you ever follow the advice that Bobby gives you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Does she, Bobby?
No, she doesn't.
I try. Most of the stuff she says to me is not stuff that I want to hear, so.
Well, if you only want to hear what you have to say, talk to the mirror.
I guess.
Do you do you respect Bobby's opinion? Do you think she has good advice for you?
Oh, I really do, yeah.
So then how come you don't listen to it? Because obviously if she's a good friend, she's not going to tell you what you want to hear just for the sake of telling you what you want to hear, right?
I guess not.
She's going to tell you what she thinks is best for you.
Yeah.
I've been where she has been, and I don't want her to make the same mistakes I have.
So why do you think it is that you don't take Bobby's advice?
A lot of the, whoops.
Go ahead.
A lot of the time she'll keep at me, so I just do the opposite just to bug her a little bit. Joking around, but she doesn't really think it's funny.
So what would help you? Like if you really did need her opinion and you needed her advice, what would be a better way for her to give it to you so that you would follow it?
Just maybe talk to me about it, talk to me about it, instead of just coming at me and saying, this is what you should do because I've been through this, and talk to me about it.
What do you think, Bobby?
I do.
Do you think maybe you go at her a little too hard with it? Are you doing like the mother thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. See if she can even agree with me.
So do you think maybe there's a better way to give advice to her?
Yeah, I guess so.
Excellent. Yes, ma'am.
I just have a comment for the girl in the black overalls. My advice to you is to not take advice from her because you're going to end up like her. And friendship material, I say she hits the road.
Yeah, but no. You're just seeing. You don't even know her. You're just seeing a little. You're just seeing a little bit of her until you get to know all of her. Like we've been friends for like 4 or 5 years, And so it's nothing. You've got no right to get up.
Talk to you like that. She's not your friend. Your friends don't talk to you like that. Your friends support you. They don't give you attitude.
Hey, she does support me. I give her just as much attitude right back.
I think the girl.
I give her
I think the
attitude.
girl in the black overalls had more attitude than Kathy did. Like, hi. Where have you been?
I'm nice. Am I not nice? Am I not nice?
Exactly.
I'm so
She's a
quiet.
peach.
I'm so quiet and shy. Ask him. Ask him.
Okay, we have a question. We have a question. Yes, sir.
This is actually to everybody on the panel. I was just wondering, you guys are all talking about taking the advice and listening to it. I was wondering if any of you have taken the advice and then it's backfired.
Has anyone ever actually taken the advice of one of their friends and it's backfired on them?
I told you to shut up at the mall.
What was that? You guys did that?
Yeah, oh man. I gave her advice this one time about, not lipping somebody off, and she didn't listen to me, of course, because she's pig-headed.
Of course.
And she ended up, getting kicked out of a mall and almost losing her job because she worked in the mall, and then she gets up here and says, I don't listen to her advice.
You are being just as mouthy, just as mouthy.
I did not make him open the door for me, okay?
Okay, we got another question. Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's kind of a comment for all of them. All of them seem to be very young, and instead of asking advice from their friends, why aren't they asking advice from their parents?
Because
Ones who have the morals to show them the right way and the wrong way.
Go ahead, Shelley.
I don't have parents. There's only so much.
You have to meet my parents.
Friends' advice is
Friends
better.
are better. Friends are better. You can't tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
I have actually a question for the three on the end. I was just wondering, to the girl, do you not take their advice because they're males? Do you tend to take more advice from your female friends? Like, is that a factor? Is that why you don't take their advice?
No.
Amy?
Like, I think because I live with them and I go to school with them, I'm closer to them than just about anyone else. But I ask my girlfriends too, and usually I go with what I feel, like my instincts, because it's a lot harder to go through with something just because someone told you to when it's not natural. But usually it backfires, so what does that say about my instincts? But no, it's not because they're men at all. No, they're there. They're close to me.
Well, when we return, today's expert therapist, Rhonda Katz, is going to have some advice that she hopes our guests will listen to. Don't go away. Have you lost an incredible amount of weight? Do you want to share the secrets of your success? Or do you know someone who's overcome the battle of the bulge and you want to congratulate them? If so, call us at 1-800-508-CAMILLA and tell us about it. Hi, welcome back. Today we're talking to people who say they're tired of their friends asking them for advice and then never taking it. Joining us now is today's expert therapist, Rhonda Katz. Hi, Rhonda. Thank you for coming and helping us out today, Rhonda. What advice do we have for Sean and Andrew and Amy, Rhonda?
Well, I think they're great friends. However, I will say that part of it's Amy's technique. It's a technique of conversation rather than advice solicitation. So instead of asking advice all the time, realize that you're having a conversation and the guys need to say, well, what is it you want to hear? And so learn the language between the difference of advice and opinion and having your own decisions affirmed. That's what you have to do, but you're doing well. I think you've already changed just by being here tonight. Because today, we make a difference for tomorrow if we hear and listen to our friends. The difference when we ask our friends' opinion rather than our families, and families are essential, but it is a natural progression to go from your family of origin to your friendships. The smart thing is to have good friends.
Yes. How about Denise and Rob and Debbie?
Well, you guys, when was the last time you felt your life was going really well?
Mine?
Yeah, Denise.
It goes fine.
So then you know what to do. Yeah. You know the right thing to do, so ask it of yourself first, and then say, well, I've been making some decisions. What do you think? Not what should I do? Don't should on yourself. Get some support.
Does that sound good, Denise?
Yeah.
How about Kathy and Nicole, Rhonda?
Well, they're a very dynamic duo. And I think Kathy loves telling and directing. Yeah. And you should make your advice count? And if it's not going to count,
I don't give it.
don't give it.
Yeah. See, that's what I do. That's what I do. But
I'm not quite sure because I think you have, you know, and you could focus that very good, I know best, do what I say, but in a different context. In friendship, it's about trust and companionship and communicating. And so you have to know when your advice is well received, and if not, back off. That's all.
Yeah.
How about Shelley and Kelly, Rhonda?
Well, for you guys, why don't you just go see, you know, banks nowadays are running free seminars for women and money. It's 1997. Together, take a free seminar, learn from each other. Absolutely.
And last but not least, Joan and Bobby.
Well, part of it is a role modeling thing. Is it difficult for the two of you to be equal with your age differences?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. And so because of that, you need to hear what she says, appreciate it, but also be stronger in what you know is right for you. So there's a difference, as I said earlier, advice versus opinion. Say, I want your opinion when you want her opinion. Yeah. But when you say, I need your advice, I'm very confused here, then truly listen to it. The rebellious thing is immature. This is not your mom. There's no reason to be rebellious. She's here for you. She's supportive. If you're unsure, then gather more people around you, not just one person, because it then becomes a burden to her.
Okay, we have a question. Yes, ma'am.
Have any of you ever regretted asking for advice because you received advice that offended you?
Anybody? Anybody regretted asking? Amy?
They're both very blunt and to the point. Sean more so, and I never get offended because I know he's like that. I'd rather have him say what's on his mind, and I know he cares about me, and he doesn't say it to hurt me, but like I listen to him and I hear what he says, but he's very to the point, but it doesn't offend me. I appreciate it.
Yes, but don't waste his time because it's starting not to be fun.
But you know, and then I realized that they do back off, like you said, and it hurts my feelings. In the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, you know, why aren't they hanging around me as much? And I guess I don't realize. And
but they need to change their language. And they need to sometimes say, honey, what is it you want to hear?
That's where the confusion comes in is, are we having a conversation or are you asking my advice? Is this an
they don't know
opinion
what to
or
say.
what are you looking for?
But be out there. Use your language more effectively.
Yes, ma'am.
For the people who are giving advice, why do you continue to do so if your friends aren't listening to you?
Rhonda, why don't you answer that?
Well, I want to, because people love it. It makes them feel wise. And it makes them feel, I have somebody that wishes to hear what I think. And that is such a compliment. And so it becomes like a self-serving relationship. You keep on asking, I'll keep on giving. But eventually, the well does run dry.
These wells dry.
Yes, ma'am.
Sean, do you ever give Amy advice without her asking for it first?
Maybe.
Yes, he does.
She needs it.
Yes, ma'am.
I think everybody should listen to all their friends, except for you. She's giving you the wrong advice. She's gonna steer you the same way she's going.
Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? Nowhere. Yeah, nowhere. Right to the audience. Thank
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
buddy.
I just think to Kathy and Nicole, if you want your friend to take your advice, I think you have to treat her with a little more respect.
I do treat her with all the respect, all
Not
my
all the
stuff.
time,
She's
though.
my friend. I care about her.
We'll be right back.
My friends always ask me.
Guests of my show stay at the International Plaza Hotel and Conference Centre on Toronto's west side. Luxurious rooms feature private jacuzzis and king-size beds. Play in the International Rapids Water Park. Savor the world-class cuisine of Alfredo's. The International Plaza, Toronto. I want to thank all of my guests for being here today, and a very special thanks to Rhonda Katz. Thank you, Rhonda. It's okay to give advice to someone who asks for it, but whether they choose to take it or not is up to them. Everyone has the right to make their own decisions in life. And remember, while they have the right to ask your opinion, you also have the right to decide whether to give it or not. Thanks for watching. Take care, brush your hair. We'll see you next time. My wardrobe is exclusively Votre Gnome Paris.
Meet a real-life hero who rescued a rape victim from her assailant just before she was to be killed. Oprah brings you the story next on BBS.